Field Report Number FA0007, Cycle 42. Subject Species Homo sapiens. Observation concerns a cyclical event wherein numerical reductions attached to material goods induce rapid congregation and competitive locomotion. Individuals exhibit accelerated heart rates, vocal amplification, and abrupt directional changes toward objects previously ignored at higher numeric values. Social spacing protocols collapse. Appendages extend to secure possession, occasionally displacing neighboring organisms. Notably, cooperative norms are temporarily suspended, replaced by territorial acquisition behaviors. The triggering stimulus appears purely symbolic altered digits, yet produces measurable physiological and behavioral escalation. Mechanism for this value perception inversion remains unclear. Humans exhibit rapid mass acceleration toward retail entry points when price reductions are announced, overriding typical personal space norms. At the designated temporal marker, known as Black Friday, individuals assemble in dense clusters outside commercial structures and, upon barrier removal, initiate a coordinated forward surge that resembles a herd response to a perceived resource scarcity signal. Limbs are compressed, torsos are angled for maximum forward propulsion, and previously observed social rules regarding distance and polite sequencing are temporarily deactivated. Central Command requested whether this is a survival reflex. However, the resources in question are non-essential items such as display screens and fabric coverings. In our civilization, acquisition queues are governed by rotational fairness algorithms, preventing collision-based prioritization. Here, the prioritization appears to be determined by proximity and momentum, producing a self-reinforcing wave that carries even hesitant participants forward. Audible vocalizations intensify the effect, suggesting a feedback loop of urgency. Notably, participants later report satisfaction at successful entry, despite the physical strain, indicating that the act of overcoming resistance may itself be part of the reward structure. Humans engage in competitive object seizure behaviors, rapidly grasping discounted items and defending them against conspecifics with heightened territoriality. Once inside the structure, individuals identify target goods and execute swift acquisition maneuvers, often extending upper appendages at high speed to secure possession before others can do so. The moment of contact appears to confer an immediate sense of ownership, after which subjects exhibit guarding behaviors such as clutching, stacking, or positioning the body as a barrier. In several instances, multiple humans attach themselves to the same object, resulting in brief tugging contests until one relinquishes or is outmaneuvered. The Council has noted that these objects are mass-produced and interchangeable, yet participants behave as though each unit is singular and irreplaceable. In our systems, resource claims are verified through non-physical tagging, eliminating the need for direct contest. Here, verification is socially negotiated in real time, occasionally escalating to verbal disputes. Despite the tension, formal conflict rarely persists beyond the immediate interaction, suggesting an implicit rule set that allows aggressive acquisition without long-term social rupture. Humans display synchronized urgency amplification through environmental cues such as countdowns, signage, and limited quantity signals. The retail environment is deliberately modified to include large numerical displays, bold color contrasts, and repeated phrases indicating scarcity and temporal limitation. These cues appear to modulate human perception of value and time, compressing decision-making processes into rapid, less analytical bursts. Central Command hypothesized that humans might ignore such signals if aware of their artificial construction. However, observation indicates the opposite, with even experienced participants exhibiting increased heart rate and accelerated movement when exposed. In our culture, information is calibrated to reduce cognitive distortion, but here, distortion is actively engineered to drive behavior. The presence of only a few remaining indicators produces clustering and sudden directional shifts in the crowd, as individuals recalibrate targets mid-movement. The phenomenon suggests that perceived scarcity, rather than actual need, is the primary driver, creating a shared illusion that coordinates large groups without direct communication. Post-acquisition, humans experience rapid emotional transition from aggression to relief and display, often sharing their obtained goods as status signals. After securing desired items, physiological indicators of stress diminish quickly, replaced by expressions of satisfaction and, in some cases, celebratory communication with peers via handheld devices. Subjects frequently compare acquisitions, quantify savings, and present objects for visual acknowledgement, indicating that the event's value extends beyond utility into social signaling. The Council finds it notable that identical items obtained at different price points produce differing levels of pride, implying that the narrative of acquisition is as significant as the object itself. In our systems, resource efficiency is recorded silently within communal logs, with no performative component. Humans, by contrast, externalize the experience, converting economic transactions into social capital. This abrupt shift from competitive intensity to cooperative sharing suggests a compartmentalized behavioral mode, where aggression is contextually permitted and then swiftly deactivated once the perceived objective has been achieved.